Hi, welcome back, and today we are tier listing all of season 5 of Doctor Who from 1967 to 1968. First up, we have Tomb of the Cybermen. Now, this serial got a 4 overall. I thought it was interesting. It was definitely better on my rewatch than the first time I watched it. There's nothing much that I have to say on this serial, to be honest. I think it was interesting that there was this Tomb of the Cybermen and that the expedition crew were going out there to see it. I don't know why anyone would do that, but I liked the idea. But yeah, there was nothing much that I have to say about it other than that I enjoyed this one. I will say though that Victoria's fashions really confused me because this is her first trip in the TARDIS. She is a Victorian young lady and she is dressed very scandalously for someone from that time. It doesn't make sense to me. It's very confusing, it doesn't make sense. Anyone who's a Victorian woman would not be seen dead in that sort of outfit. And yes, I take note of fashions. I am a historian and I do appreciate accuracy and things like that. So that is a weird one for me. But either way, overall the story was good. I do think it was better before the Cybermen woke up, but it was fun either way. So I think for this one, I'm going to put Tomb of the Cybermen in upgrade in progress. I did enjoy it, just it wasn't brilliant, and also I kind of like that it's on the Cyberman tier. MVP for the episode is Cybermen. Okay, the next two I'm going to get through quite quickly because I don't have anything to say on them. First up is the Abominable Snowmen. So the Tomb of the Cybermen was a snowy adventure. Now we've got 2 more snowy adventures with the Abominable Snowmen and the Ice Warriors. 3 snowy adventures all in one go is a bit much for me, and I personally found the Abominable Snowmen to be quite dull. I just didn't enjoy it much. I gave it a 2 as the numerical rating, and to be honest, I'm going to put this one into Doctor Who for the Abominable Snowmen because I do often forget that it exists. It's not awful, I just don't appreciate it and I don't remember it. I've seen it twice, don't remember it. I like the idea of the Great Intelligence and the Yetis and all of that. I liked the idea of it all, but nothing worked for me in the episode. It was just boring to me, so I don't really like that one much. MVP for that episode is Chomney. The next episode, as I've said, is the Ice Warriors, another snowy adventure, and that one for me is going into the Skaro sewers. I'm sorry, I am. I know that Ice Warriors are a popular villain, but I, for whatever reason, generally just don't like the episodes they're in. It's not the Ice Warriors themselves. I think they're a fine villain. I just don't like their stories. I don't know why. It just always happens to be that way somehow. So the Ice Warriors, the serial, is going into the Skaro sewers. I just didn't like it. No one stood out to me as an MVP for that one either, so there's no MVP for the Ice Warriors. Moving on to the Enemy of the World. This one is much better for me. I gave this one a 4. I thought it was intriguing. The story was good. It is another episode where the Doctor is a doppelganger to a human on Earth and he has to sort of pretend to be them, which I liked. I really liked all of that. The Enemy of the World is an intriguing story and earned a rating of 4. And I also did like the ending because the character the Doctor's pretending to be, at the ending you don't know whether it's the Doctor or that character. You just don't know whether it's him or Salamander in the TARDIS. And there's a bit of mystery around that, so I did like that. So the Enemy of the World, I think I'm going to put in upgrade in progress. Again, it's not the best serial, but it was very enjoyable, so I'm going to put it in upgrade in progress. An MVP for the episode is Faria. Next up is The Web of Fear. Now, in my recollection, I did not enjoy this serial, but rewatching it, I wonder why I thought that, because this was actually excellent. This one was really enjoyable. It used the Yetis really well. The whole mystery around it was really good. I gave this one a 5 in my rating system, and I'm going to put this one into fantastic. It wasn't the best for me, but I really did enjoy it. It introduced us to the Brigadier when he was a colonel or a captain previously, and I did enjoy it. I thought it was a really good story. I like the fact that villains and a friend as well from a prior serial that very season had returned. I thought that was done quite well as well, with Jamie and Victoria saying, "Hey, Professor, you remember us, right? Hello." And all of that happening there. Overall, it was just much better and more enjoyable than I remembered. And the MVP for the serial is Gwynfor Evans. Now, he is a bit of a Weasley character, but he was so funny. Like, he gets MVP status just because he really made the episodes for me. He was great in every scene he was in. I'm for going for Evans. Evans was great. Next up is Fury from the Deep. This is a fine serial, nothing special about it, but it was a fine serial. It earned a 3 on my rating system. One thing I will say about this is that Victoria leaves at the end of this serial, and I did like the fact that they made it clear early on in the serial that she just wanted to have peace and quiet. She didn't want these adventures. She just wanted to live her normal life, really. So I think that helped her with her departure at the end of the serial, because her leaving Victorian London and going into the future, this is set around about 1975-ish, so for her distant future, it just doesn't seem very likely. So having her make it clear early on in the serial that she just wants that life, that normal life, makes it easier to deal with her departure later on, so I do like that. It makes it more believable. But as I say, Fury of the Deep is an okay episode, so I'm going to put it into Wibbly Wobbly. Yeah, it's going to go in Wibbly Wobbly. It's okay, I liked what it did, I just wasn't that big of a fan of it as I have been about other episodes, so it's going to go into Wibbly Wobbly. And the MVP for that episode is Mr. Harris. And the final episode for season 5 is The Weird in Space. This episode introduced not only another amazing companion in Zoe, but also it had the first use of the John Smith alias for the Doctor, as devised by Jamie McCrimmon. This story earned a 4 in my ratings, but it was very between a 3 and a 4. It's okay. Some bits were a bit better than others. I liked that in this story the Doctor gave Zoe at the end a really proper choice about whether she wanted to travel with them. After having so many people effectively being kidnapped and then suddenly them going, hey, I don't want to be here, it made sense for him to reflect on that and say, hey, you know what, why don't you take a look at all the dangers we're about to face, here are some Daleks, and see if you actually want to come along. So I do like that. And also Zoe stowing away in the TARDIS in the first instance of the finale does remind me of a future favourite companion as well. So yeah, Zoe's great. But yeah, it's another Cybermen episode. It was pretty decent, so I'm thinking of putting that also in upgrade in progress. Yeah, that works. And the MVP for the episode is Dr. Gemma Corrin. So yeah, the tier list again looks quite varied for this season. There's more in the higher tiers than there are in the bottom tiers, which is quite good. I swear I do like this show. I do like Doctor Who. I'm just being honest about my feelings about episodes. So yes, there are some episodes in lower tiers, but I like it overall. So season stats, the most common score was a 4 and the season average was a 3.25. So again, overall not bad. The quote of the season, again, I had a few different quotes to choose from in this one. There were 3 that I picked. One that very much shows the Doctor and his absolute bestie love for Jamie, and another one that just shows the Doctor and Zoe having a little logical tiff. But the one I think I'm going to go for comes from The Enemy of the World and very much shows the Doctor and kind of just represents the show as a whole, at least in the title. So it's a conversation between Astrid and the Doctor, and she says, oh, you're a doctor. And the Doctor says, well, not of any medical significance. Astrid says, Doctor of Law, Philosophy. Doctor says, which law? Whose philosophies, eh? Astrid says, oh, I see, you're determined to be mysterious. Am I? Says the Doctor. So yeah, I just felt that kind of summed up Doctor Who as a concept. So that is the quote of the season. And that is my season 5 tier list complete. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Did you agree with my list? Are you hating me for putting episodes in the Scarrow sewers? Tell me your thoughts and I will see you next time.